this might be America's most controversial tourist attraction.
3, 2, 1.
Jesus. This $1.5 billion per year problem is caused by 9 million of these invasive pigs. And I'm in Texas, the state most affected, to do a deep dive with hunters and farmers to learn what many consider to be a controversial solution to this problem. So I wanted to see, what impact do these pigs have on our food system and even spreading disease? And is this really the most ethical and effective way to handle the problem, or is this all about the profit? But before getting in the helicopter to see for myself, I met the owner of the tour company and he showed me around.
Nice to meet you, man.
Hey, nice to meet you too.
Super nice to meet you. I appreciate you like opening it up and everything.
Oh yeah, you bet.
I'm super excited, man. I've never been hunting. Well, I guess I'm not gonna be shooting for like the spirit of being unbiased, but I'm excited to be along for like the ride and everything.
Yeah, well, you wanna look around?
Let's do it.
Cool, I'll show you the place. So this is our lodge, this is our main lodge, and get in and show you around a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
What's up, what's up?
Yeah.
We use this area as the helicopter hangar to be able to roll the helicopter in and out.
But didn't it used to be where like the government would go out and pay people? Like when did this shift kind of start where it became like a business?
We're the largest pig hunting operation in the world. Texas Parks and Wildlife Department still flies. They have a few helicopters and they'll fly and help landowners out, but we'll kill 10,000 plus pigs a year and we can go out the very next year and do the same thing. So it works out for the farmers. They're getting their pigs killed and everything's flown. Guys get to come out and have an experience of a lifetime flying in the helicopter and hunting, and then we get a business out of the deal.
It's very Texas, isn't it? Do you get like people from around the world to come here?
We do. So we get a lot of people that are local that come out and entertain clients or just come and hunt with friends. But then we get people from all over the world. We've had people come in for heli hunts from Germany, Russia. Where else, Tommy?
Well, we had the ones from Japan.
Really?
Canada.
Wow.
The Japan guys, because they're real big on the thermal optics and the technology with it, and they owned a company that's based here, and so they came out to do some testing and stuff with some of their thermal optics, some of their nighttime stuff.
I'm kind of curious, have you ever had like any let's say vegan activists come to your guys' businesses and protest against what you guys are doing?
Not come to the business. So we've had a lot of stuff on social media where guys have gone on there and reported posts and make their voice known. But we haven't had anybody show up here.
All right. And as we were loading up the helicopter, what I found was that before 2011, even in Texas, this wasn't allowed. Farmers had to pay companies like this one to shoot hogs on their land, but now tourists are the one that's paying the bill in exchange for the experience. That's the beauty of capitalism.
We don't want a Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace.
Oh my gosh, why would you say that? As we're getting into the helicopter.
All right, before you come for me, first off, shut up. Kobe Bryant's my GOAT, okay? So get back to the video.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, we're up.
Oh, look at that. This is such like unemployed friend on Tuesday type activities.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We are gonna go look at some places where we've had some crop damage. That way we can kind of get an aerial view of it. And if we see some pigs along the way, we'll let them have it. But if you look down right here to your left, you see where there's that kind of area where it's flattened out?
Yeah.
So the Milo's been harvested, but before it was harvested, that area right there looked exactly like the rest of the harvested field does now. It was just a knockdown patch of about half an acre of where the pigs just came and ate all the crop. So the farmer did all the work, planted, fertilized, sprayed, everything, and then that whole half acre there, they came back and there's nothing to harvest. There's a bunch of gaps down there. Yeah. All these to the left.
Those are all the...
As I saw later on close up, these pigs can do some damage, man. And as you'll see with this video and all the videos on this channel, look, it's clearly a lot of effort for scripting, editing, and finding footage. And that's where today's sponsor, InVideo AI, can come in as the co-pilot that'll do the heavy lifting for me. And Video AI is the world's most used AI video creator, and it helps me save a lot of time making videos by using simple text prompts. And all I have to do is start with a simple text prompt to get me started with a first rough draft. Like for an upcoming video of mine, I could type something like, create a 10-minute video about how tech addiction is impacting male loneliness and how it's giving us a false sense of connectedness. I can even say things like include examples, be funny, and use a British voice narration. And after that, I can select my audience, look and feel, and platform to generate the video. And from there, I can fine tune it with additional prompts, like changing the intro, adding subtitles, find better footage for a scene, translating it to Spanish, and the best part is I can even clone my own voice and make it narrate the video in my voice in any language. So you can try Video AI for free, but for just $20 a month, you'll remove the watermark and unlock voice cloning and high quality stock footage. So use my link and code GEN50 to get double the video credits in your first month. And now back to the video.
So you can see some areas, all these areas over here, where there was corn and now there's not anymore. Those are all patches that pigs probably came in here and got the corn before it even sprouted. They'll come and eat it out of the ground as the farmers are planting it in the ground. This. And you see how no pigs can get away when you're this low to the ground and you're just right there?
Yeah. Appreciate the ride.
Oh, of course.
Man, I'm starting to get motion sickness toward the end. I didn't want to say anything.
A little better now you're on the ground?
Yeah, 100%.
Good.
So we obviously didn't see any wild boars during the hot daytime, but as you'll see, this is just the beginning. Because it's not only that this tourist attraction must be completely unthinkable for the European or international mind.
Dude, how can this be legal?
The truth is, this goes beyond just mowing down boars from a helicopter. And what I found is a bigger picture involving politics and hidden agendas.
I'm very leery of government intervention with regulatory and/or help, because with that comes strings and attachments. I'll let the government come do it. They'll put in 40 hours a week and they won't get it done. You will be hungry at some point, guys. You will.
Because if I'm gonna be real with you, going into this, I didn't really see a problem with it. And to explain my reasoning, simply put, I'm human first. And my first thought is that I'll always support something that benefits humans and society over animals, especially if they're causing problems. And before all of you in the comments call me psychopathic, look, I love dogs, I love animals, but if it came down to saving my dog or another human, I'm sorry, but I'm saving the human every damn time. I swear to God, some of y'all like your damn pets more than your kids. But considering all that, there are valid concerns around animal cruelty and rights. And whether all this really is necessary or just unnecessarily cruel. So as always, I'm always open to changing my mind by the end of the video. Because one thing to consider as you watch this video is when a business is specifically incentivized to keep a problem going, is it about solving the problem or just making more money? So who better to ask than the farmers that are the most affected? But first, on the way to the farm, I wanted to see it up close. What is the kind of damage these pigs cause, and also scout the areas that they might be during the night hunt later on. And as we get into it, if you're interested in supporting our journalism, click the link in the description to join our waitlist for how we're going to be changing the future of journalism.
So I guess we're heading now to go to the pig damage?
Yeah, we're gonna go look at some fields. This is gonna be a look at some pig damage / scouting for this evening to see where we need to go thermal hunt. So we'll do a little bit of both.
How are you scouting? Are you just like looking for like fresh marks? Or?
Yep, fresh tracks, fresh damage, that kind of stuff. We're gonna get over here and look and see what we can see and just kind of check it all out. There's a little bit of damage there. We'll come and look at that on the way out, but you see how that corn's just all open and on the ground? And there's no stalks there?
Sure.
That's pigs that are doing that. So this is kind of what you're looking for when you're looking for pig damage. You can see some tracks on the ground where they've been walking through here. You can see corn half eaten there.
Oh, geez.
So that's what
they
do.
eat that shit cleaner than most people, though.
Yeah, they got more than I would have off of it. Yeah. But this is what it normally looks like when it comes off. You know, you'll have a full ear of corn. And so you've got this entire field that's probably 600 acres or so of just corn out here. And the pigs will come out here and not only eat that right off of it, But what they don't eat, they're knocking down on the ground. And this is just a smaller area. Some of the bigger areas we're not able to get to in the truck without running over their crop. But what you're looking for from a hunting standpoint is we see that, and then we can come over here and there's more than likely gonna be a trail that goes down to some water. Yeah, so like right here.
Oh, I see.
So right here, there's a trail that goes down to water. You can see on the side of the trail where the pigs have been coming in and out on the side of the tree where they've been rubbing on it, and there's water right down there. So those pigs are somewhere in those woods, in the shade, hanging out. At nighttime, they'll come right out here when they think it's safe, and they'll eat.
So essentially you're putting like a mental pin in here of somewhere we'll come back to later tonight.
So this will be, we'll be able to come with the thermal. The wind's going this way, so we'll be able to pull around that corner and see. But the thing is, once they get in that corn, you're not gonna be able to see them. But yep, we'll go look at some more. Man, I really like what you're doing with the show. I think it's cool the way that I've done a lot of these hunting shows and stuff, and everything's focused on how do you kill the most pigs, what's the best hunting ways, and how do you stay on them and all that kind of stuff. I think it's cool that you kind of cover all
thank you.
aspects of it.
Thank you. Yeah,
it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Guys, I swear to God, I'm not paying this guy to say this. Like, one thing I am curious though is like, what made you say yes to us?
Man, it just seemed like you had a cool thing going, and a lot of the guys that come and hunt with us, they want to come out on a guided hunt so where they can, get a free hunt out of the deal and grow their own hunting. But I like the way that you kind of do an unbiased opinion on it. And believe it or not, on our channel before, just because we're out hunting, we've been called all kinds of names, but racist and
Really?
all this, and a bunch of hillbillies and rednecks, and it's like,
Wait, by like who?
just by random people that want to get on and make negative comments, because I guess that's the brightest part of their day.
So while you guys are filming and stuff?
Well, while we're just like on the Facebook posts.
Oh, I see,
like
I
we
see.
post a reel or something,
Yeah.
and people get on there and call you all kinds of names. But it's like, you have no idea who I am. Like I grew up in the city. At my high school, there was less white people than anything. And you just make these assumptions that because I like to go hunting, I'm a certain way. There's a lot of people
this pickup truck doesn't help either.
No. But I need it, okay? But I need it. There's plenty of black people that hunt, plenty of Mexican people that hunt, okay?
How about Asians?
There's not a whole lot of Asians.
I think that's also the value of more kind of like this style where we just also talk, less edits and more rawness is like, you can really see people for who it is. Because I'm sure there's gonna be maybe some comments that say like, fuck this guy, but like you're gonna get that for anyone. But I think more often than not, when you just show raw conversations like this, it really does help like bridge the gap.
All that stuff is crazy to me. Doesn't really matter what color you are. Let's just go out and have some fun and maybe shoot some pigs.
Yeah, we should all just be racist towards pigs. Just kidding, guys. I'm kidding.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is at all. We get a lot of people that ask us, what do you do with all the meat? I hope that meat's going to feed the homeless. So when we first started, we were able to donate meat. There was a bunch of different charity organizations, Hunters for the Hungry, Hogs for the Cause, and we could just take them to pigs and they would clean them and donate the meat to homeless shelters.
Oh, wow.
Well, as of 2020, we got a new administration on board, and they banned any type of wild game meat being able to be donated to homeless shelters because
Seriously?
it's not an approved.
It's like a federal law?
It's a federal law. It's not an approved meat.
Wow, I did not know that. So we're gonna go check out some pig damage.
Yeah. You got some okay shoes on to walk in this stuff?
Yep.
They've definitely got a trail coming through here. I'm pretty sure I can smell a dead pig.
For those who are watching, have you met another fucking versatile creator like this? I've spent time in favelas. I'll be out in fields. Nobody has range like me. I'm just chatting shit.
There's definitely some trails going through here, so I know that there were some pigs moving through here, but this is definitely something that we'll thermal hunt tonight, though.
What do you think about gun control? I mean, clearly I'm gonna know where you stand, but one thing I think that's gonna be a never-ending debate in America, especially whenever there's a major shooting event happens. What's been interesting, especially for like my international audience, a lot of people, when they talk to me, they're like, why the hell do you guys need to have like these guns? And I think like what I say is that, look, yes, maybe Australia has had like gun buyback programs that has been successful and people are willing to give that away. But look, I don't ever see that happening in America because it's so embedded within the culture, right? Like, I don't think there's probably anywhere else in the world where you can do this, something like this. Who knows? What do you think about it as especially someone whose business is about hunting, right? It's so culture based, like you grew up doing it.
Yes, it would hurt our business if there was some type of gun control put into place. But that aside, I'm strong belief that guns don't kill people. It's the people that are using them and the way that they're using them. And I think that's the biggest problem in our society nowadays is why are people wanting to do these things with each other? So, you could kill somebody with a knife. You can kill somebody with a bow and arrow. It's not the gun that's killing somebody. The gun control thing in America is never going to happen. I mean, look at all this land around us. If they come out here and try to take guns from people, they're not going to give them all up.
This neighborhood, there's no way.
They're going to hide them somewhere. You're not going to be able to find the guns. There's been places in America that do have stricter gun control laws, and those places have more violence than anywhere.
Do you think you guys are eradicating more pigs? So in that instance, are you guys more effective than when like the government was like the only one that was doing this?
If we have 100,000+ acres to cover in a specific area, we'll fly multiple days in that specific area before we go somewhere else. So I won't say the government didn't do as good of a job or that we're doing better or anything, but I do think that we cover more area in specific zones than they do. And we have more funding, because we're able to operate. We've got tons of people that want to fly. We book our hunts and have a waiting list every year so we can fly as much as we want to, whereas the government's having to operate on, our tax dollars.
Right. And I want to ask the farmer questions too to see if it actually does impact his land.
But he does some cool stuff. You'll like it.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Gen.
Yen?
Gen.
Jen, I'm James.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
What do you do for a living, Yen?
This is it. This is it. It's full time.
You're an entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
He does like a unique type of deal that's like, he's like, I'm going to come in with no opinion and you can tell me why it's good. And then he's going to go talk to PETA and listen to what they have to say too.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be good because, everybody gives us a hard time on Facebook and stuff about our videos and they want us to die because we're killing pigs.
So cool being like a
good and bad
farm warehouse.
I'm James Hoosier with J&L Farms and Hoosier Farms, 4th generation farming and ranching operation in Ellis and Navarre counties. We've been here since the 1800s.
Your
livelihood.
4th generation?
4th generation. Livelihood derived strictly from agriculture. This is our operation.
Sure.
Pigs, I'm not that mad at the pigs, but they're just too destructive. I like to see them in small numbers. When you see 40, 50, 60 at a time, they cost me somewhere between annually $50,000 to $100,000 a year in just what they do in destruction.
Wow. Do you know how much it costs like farmers in Texas, like collectively?
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
There must have been like a breaking point, right? Where like these Heli Hunters were kind of like needed. I know in the beginning when they were first introduced, they were like low in numbers, but there must have been a breaking point. At that point, what was like the level of destruction like?
Well, so at the beginning, the state came in and gave us assistance.
Right.
We got 1 day a year, they would come in and we would pay them to come in. Then that evolved into the Heli Hunter version and we paid them at the beginning per acre a stipend for them to fly our crops and work for us. That morphed into a hunting operation that has actually helped subsidize them and me on that platform, so I don't bear all the cost.
Right.
I used to spend about $20,000 a year for them.
I see. So now you don't have to pay
I don't
them.
have to.
Got it.
It's an offset, so they're able to provide a service to the hunting enthusiast, and they're willing to pay for the thrill of the ride.
Sure.
And it's an offset I don't have to pay.
Got it. So it's a win-win now.
It's a win-win. We just need to do more of it.
Right. Talk to me more about the eradication programs. What is that exactly?
There's some chemistry out there that they're putting on the market with some extremely rigid regulations that you have to adhere to help keep them under control.
So it seems like it's more about managing, and I think we were talking about this as well. There's no really hopes of completely eradicating them, or we're actively
methods,
trying.
Current methods, no. There's a way to do it, but it's controversial.
It's talking about bug poison. There's a warfarin deal going through right now that's been approved but not really implemented. That's what's warfarin used for?
Blood thinner.
It's a blood thinner, and they use certain kind of apparatus to where only pigs can get to feed out of it and other animals can't eat it. But then once that pig feeds on it and that pig dies, and where the pig's pooping and peeing in the streams and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't affect them supposedly, but that's what they're fighting.
Pests. It doesn't go to the second. So the buzzard, the coyotes, the whatever feed on the carcass, it's not supposed to feed to the next level.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of Americans, including myself, were pretty removed from the food chain or food supply, right? Like I just go to the Whole Foods or the Kroger's and buy like the meat, where you guys are obviously producing all of this. Just to kind of like switch topics a little bit, I'm curious about what you think about farming's future in America, because recently a lot of billionaires have been buying up a lot of like farmland. Have you been getting like offers like that or anything to buy your business and your land to do so?
We have urbanization, which we have what we call residential homes and businesses that want to move, to our area, and we get offers on our land. That is concerning and exhilarating. Once it's sold and put concrete on it, what's going to happen to the next generation? Where are you going to get your foodstuffs? If there's nothing to put on the shelf at Walmart and Kroger and Tom Thumb, then you're going to go hungry. Or you're going to farm it off to third world countries who have less regulatory influence, and you don't know what you're going to be eating. So it's a double-edged sword. You want cheap food, but you also want to have available food. It's only cheap if it's highly available. Once it's not available, you'll pay anything to get to something to eat. You don't care where it comes from.
Have you had any like radical animal activists like come to your farmland to protest what you do or anything like that?
No, sir, and I'm not advocating anybody show up.
What would happen if they did?
I'd be nice to them.
Okay. There's been a lot of pushback earlier this year or over the past years, especially in Europe. I don't know if you saw or heard about this, but I think especially in the Netherlands and I think France, I think the government has been taking over like a lot of land and making it harder for farmers to do their job. Do you see like a similar kind of, let's say, a farmer's revolution
You better
here?
hope not. That's socialism.
Talk to me more about that.
No incentive to take risk. So if there's no incentive to take risk and get paid for your risk, then why do it? I'll get in the soup line just like everybody else is. I'll let all this go. I'll let the government come do it. They'll put in 40 hours a week and they won't get it done. You will be hungry at some point, guys. You will.
Any last messages that you have for, I guess, this issue?
Support your local agriculture, because that's where your food's coming from, guys.
Thank you.
That's it.
Appreciate it. You killed it.
yeah. I'm gonna get hate mail. I'm gonna get hate mail for you.
And to be honest, I wanted to press the farmer on this more because, dude, it was clear that he wanted to say more about the government and its role in the future of farming. And since he was holding back, I'll say it. And I think it's another example of how the government obviously doesn't always have the best interests of people. Like we discovered earlier, the perfect example is how now boar meat is banned from feeding the homeless. Even though it's probably way cleaner and nutritious than the low quality factory farm bullshit meat that they're being served currently. But one thing is for sure, whether it be issues like homelessness to world hunger, and now the most relevant being the border crisis, if governments really wanted to solve problems, they could, and they would. I mean, really think about it. Despite all the incompetencies of the government, why is it that they know exactly how much you owe every single year in taxes? So as it was starting to get dark, it was time to head back to the lodge to meet up with his two hunter friends so we can start gearing up for the night hunt. And since it was going to be pitch black, we had to not only get the guns and gear ready, but I had to make sure I had the right equipment so I can bring y'all along in the ride and capture everything that was going to happen.
All right, so it's nighttime now. In the state of being unbiased, I will not be participating in shooting any of the animals. We'll be using the truck to go from site to site, the earlier places that we scouted, to track down these boars. Do you guys strictly shoot with ARs?
When we're pig hunting, yeah. I mean, we do a little bit of stand hunts with some of these ARs. We've got a few bolt action guns that we'll use for stand hunting and that kind of stuff.
And is this the thermal?
No, that's just a regular daytime scope. These are the
Gotcha.
thermal scopes here. The rest of them are all gone because those guys are out hunting
Got it.
tonight, but these are the...
So we'll be
Pulsar
using
thermals.
this out there.
Correct.
Cool.
Yep. We'll be using those.
So yeah, these are the thermal binoculars that I'll actually be filming with. These film in thermal, so you guys will see it in a bit. Because I have to stay super quiet whenever we go out. But inside the truck that I'll be commentating, leading you guys along in the journey. Yeah, man, this is sick. It literally feels like Call of Duty.
Did you just rip ass in the middle of while it's snowing?
Dang, he blocked him like that.
Oh.
Should have went double or nothing.
I'm not playing the game anymore, bro.
Damn.
You got a bulge pick in there. You're welcome.
Watch this. So you're trying to like tuck your head down, pull the gun in, and lay your
like this?
lay your cheekbone flat.
Okay.
There you go. Tuck it all the way back into your arm.
He's in. Shoot the last one.
Ooh.
Shoot the last
You're
one.
in.
Shoot the last one.
All right, maybe I might have to shoot some hogs. Let's see.
So we were ready to go, and from the sound of things, it seems like it was gonna take no time to come face to face with the wild pig. But I've done this shit long enough to know nothing ever goes to plan, bro. But if you are someone who prefers not to be uncertain, you can subscribe to our free weekly newsletter where we do cut through the noise of news to cover the week's must-know story with none of the bias. So, link in the description.
Hey, do we want to go just right here behind the lodge first, or do we want to go hit the cornfields, or what do we want to do?
We're gonna go right here and check the cameras. If it was me.
All right, so we're getting close to the location.
Yeah.
Barely.
So we got a lot of fields to check tonight, but we're going to an area first where they just harvested the corn to where we can see everything, and there was a lot of damage. Would you mind just slightly moving your big ass head for a second? Thank you. That's much better.
That was rude. That hurt my feelings.
No, it didn't.
No.
You don't have feelings to hurt.
But wait.
Oh, but wait, there's more. All right, Jen, hey, sorry, but I can't see shit.
Oh, my fault.
Oh, you're good.
You're good.
You know what? I actually might need a little light, because if there's another gate up here, I'm gonna absolutely smoke it.
Okay, we may have spotted some off in the distance to the right here. What do you think, Peyton?
Well, if they're a long ways off, it's hard to say. They're probably.
Yeah, there's there's like 3 or 4 of them right.
The wind's going straight at them, but the entrance to the field's down further. You want to go up further and get in the field and scoop and score?
So we got out and started walking towards them, but as we got closer and closer, we actually lost sight of them, and we also figured they probably weren't even boards in the first place. So clearly finding these boards was going to be a lot harder than I thought, and when we got back into the car and as we were searching for these boards, it made me want to ask this.
I have a question for you, Peyton.
What you got?
Do you ever feel sorry for the pigs?
Man, I don't, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because doing what I do for a living, I know what it costs to raise cattle. I know what it costs, what the farmer pays to feed them every day, to take care of them every day. I know what it costs to run a tractor over a hayfield that's been beat to shit by hogs. I know all the expenses that come into that, and I know what a pig takes out of that man's pocket, and no, I do not feel bad for him.
I was in high school
I
and
got
I
you
would
on left, bro.
drive around and look for houses to teepee with toilet paper. We would do such bad shit too. We would always like wet toilet paper and throw them at windows. And it would be like rocks. So bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, what kind of pranks would you guys do when you guys were like in high school and stuff?
Never.
In the 70s, they
I feel like you
used to
guys would do some crazy shit.
When Brett was growing up in the 70s, they did some wild shit.
But you
Because
guys
they didn't have anything else.
6 days older than Christ.
We used to go light people's houses on fire just for fun.
That was after
Yeah,
church.
that'll teach them.
That was right after Sunday service.
And then as we drove around some more, we may have finally found something.
Some hot spots on the trees back here.
But turns out it was just another deer.
To be honest, even me, I used to think like Texas before I came here.
You thought we were a little retarded, didn't you?
Well, there's that, but
Hey,
no, I thought like people actually rode horses everywhere and stuff. That's just like
Well, not everywhere. We take, you take them in a trailer to a spot to ride them.
all of them. I get a little tired if I take them from the house. So do they.
damn.
I used to do that. No, I didn't really. It's a lie.
I bet you did.
Your truck's just mowing this. It's what time is it? It's fucking 2:30. We've been here for a minute.
Just zoom in on that right closer.
At this point, I was starting to lose hope, that's for sure. And some of us were even starting to lose some energy.
It's 310.
And after driving around for 5 hours without any luck, from going place to place, from the helicopter to close up, and all the areas that we scouted earlier, we may have finally found some boars. And since it was now nearly 4 a.m., it was now or never if we were gonna hunt down some boars.
We're about to head in there. Let's go. There might be some pigs.
And as we got closer and closer, we were indeed able to confirm that these were a pack of boars. And as we saw earlier in the day up close, they were probably going to town on the corn.
Following you, boss.
So without making noise, we started getting closer and closer.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Sammy.
And once they got in their positions and their sights were locked, they were ready to shoot.
All right. Y'all on them? All right.
3, 2, 1.
So the question is, were they successful?
You want to come over here with me, Peyton? Sammy, you taking a shit again? All right. So we had a group, 6 pigs or so. They were right on the edge of all this tall stuff. Hit one right off the bat. It ran way back in there. We ended up following a blood trail and getting it. This little guy tried to take off this way and we ended up knocking him down before they got in the tall stuff, but it was real quick. 2 down. Left a few out here for another day, but obviously a lot more to go.
We all look so rough right now.
Yeah.
What time is
That's what
it?
thermal hunts are
4?
like.
Yeah.
4:30.
Dude, 4:30 in the morning.
4:29. So
It's hot.
it's hotter than the devil.
Just got done dragging this dude like 40 yards through the thickest stuff imaginable. So
thicker than me.
thicker than Peyton.
That's thick.
Oh, it's okay.
Two C's.
Your invite's going.
But two less pasturettes out here destroying crops.
Yep.
So, all right.
Lovely.
That much blood all over it. And action.
Jesus.
No more.
Little fella.
Pretty big. The other one's kind of poor.
All right, man, it's time to fucking go home.
So we ended at 6 a.m. the next day. I was tired as shit, but one thing was for sure, is that there are many methods to deal with this problem, whether that's thermal hunting to mass poisoning, and as we saw earlier with heli hunting, but what truly is the most ethical and effective way? The big question is, do the people that care more about the animal rights really want to have that debate? Santa Catalina Island since the 1930s had an invasive deer problem. And similar to the boars, they damaged and overran the environment. So to finally do something about it, experts proposed using helicopters to shoot the deer. And it's because these experts found it to be the most humane and cost-effective way to do so. But the residents protested and signed petitions, citing valid reasons like safety from stray bullets to having dead deer on their land to calling it inhumane and drastic. And at the end, they were successful. They pressed the LA County Supervisor to shut down the plan, citing intense public outcry as the reason to end it. And today, the problem remains unresolved. And in fact, things are only getting worse. And what this investigation showed me is that decisions aren't always based on logic. And that's especially the case the more controversial a topic. Because whether it's business, government, or big food industries, no matter how complex, it's still ran by individuals. And people have emotions. And whether that's good or bad, it remains to be seen, because it's either the thing that's gonna save us or blow us up all in smithereens. And you can let me know in the comments, but for me, despite all its flaws, it's I think what makes the human experience meaningful. But at a time where we refuse to concede any points to the other side or find solutions that truly benefit us all, are we headed towards destruction? Because if we really want to change how society approaches issues, It starts by putting aside our emotions and discussing the uncomfortable topics. And I think that's the only way to truth. But some aren't counting on humans to figure this out, because for them, all this divide is heading towards collapse, and none of these controversies will matter once the world falls apart. And so the question is, why are some people prepping for what's to come? And so don't click off yet, because if you like this video and our mission, you can now join our waitlist in the exciting new project that we're building with this community that we have here. And click the link in the description so you can help us change the future of journalism. But anyways, thanks for watching and subscribe.